Today, we're talking about one play that can beat cover three, cover two, man, and even cover four. I'll show you how coming up right now. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Elite Athletes TV. I'm Mike Pulaski, former 11-year pro quarterback and quarterbacks coach here at EliteAthletesTV.com. Today, I wanted to show you a great play that is a cover three beater by nature. It also is a great man beater, and it can beat cover four and cover two with certain adjustments. And I love drawing up plays for you as an offensive coordinator. I love having plays in my playbook that have an answer for everything so that you don't have to get exactly the right play, exactly the right time, and it has adjustments. If you have players that are smart, you can let them work the adjustments, and you can beat every single coverage that you face with this one play. I know a lot of you guys out there are new. If it's the first time you're at the channel, make sure you're going to want to subscribe and ring that bell. That way you get notified every time we have new stuff coming out. Give me a thumbs up if you are ready to beat every coverage with one play. And make sure you leave me a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. Utilitarian plays are fantastic. As a play caller, you can call them and say, it beats everything. I've got this. Don't have to check out of it. The only thing that would potentially disrupt this play is pressure, but it's got an answer for that as well. So let's take a look at the play. I'll tell you how it beats all those coverages. We'll talk about how you set it up in your offense, and we'll go from there. Let's hit the playbook. So let's talk about this play. I'm going to draw it up for you. I will show it to you once, and we'll talk about how it beats everything. From the back, he's going to motion outside. As he gets past the tight end, they're going to snap this ball. You're going to see a rub inside because picks are illegal, and then a climb route out of this receiver. You're going to see an outside release, comeback on the outside. A seam, a rail seam, or a swing seam by the tight end, and a shallow cross by the far side receiver. And so they're facing man right now. When you're facing man, this pick route, as it comes down inside, is meant to handle any backer flow that's chasing this tight end up the seam. You're going to see as they motion this back, and this is where it gets your eyes in the wrong place. This back motions out. When they snap it right here, you have to make a choice at that linebacker spot between these two guys. Do you bump this coverage where this linebacker, who's man over the tight end right now, ends up bumping outside to cover this back, and then this backer has to cover the tight end, or do you run with it from the middle? In this case, you're going to see this backer bump and run with the back as he gets outside, and then this backer is going to, or needs to, slide over and cover this man. But because the motion's quick and the adjustment has to be quick, this backer gets out leveraged. So when this seam comes outside and the rub hits inside, and continues on the climb, this whole shot ends up wide open because this corner is locked in playing man outside on the comeback. Here's the play. See back motion, snap it there, you get the crossover. Where do your linebackers' eyes come? They get the pick, and they hit that vertical seam. So that's how it beats man. If, for some reason, that backer were to be able to run with him, the other man beaters in this route include, if you get press man, like you have in this case, this comeback converts to a go route. If you got a guy that can roll out there, that's a winner. This is a shallow cross. Runaway routes are natural man beaters. So even if you don't get this, or you don't get a good pick, and that linebacker is able to turn and run with him, you still have the go route, or if he feels like he can't win it, a comeback on the outside, and the shallow cross for winners. Now, how does it beat cover three? Well, essentially the same way. In cover three, this corner will start back here and play deep thirds. So now that comeback is a good ball versus deep thirds if you've got the arm to throw it from the far hash. This inside seam should hold the backer that's on top of it. Remember, with that little rub seam, should hold the backer. And so if it keeps his intention inside, as you run your vertical seam, this safety will be in the middle of the field, and this corner will be deep third. And you've still got that same pocket here, just like you're running 4 vert on this free safety. You've got one route crossing his face. If he gets nosy on that route, you've got this vertical seam. If he sits back or gets over and gets influenced by the tight end, now you can drop the seam ball on the crosser. Finally, if all else fails, with the back on the swing and the shallow cross, you've got a high-low when it gets to this side between those 2 routes. So it's a great route versus cover 3. It's why a bunch of college teams are running it. I'll show it to you one more time so it's fresh in your mind. Seam ball, beautiful. Route combination works, and you can see UW ran it as a go route on the outside because they had press man. So now you say, okay, I can see how it beats cover 3 and cover 1. How does this thing beat cover 2 and 4? Let's take a look at the video, and I'll tell you. Don't forget right now, if you haven't done it yet, make sure that you subscribe and ring that bell. That way you get football stuff every time I bring out new content. Give me a thumbs up if you understand how this route beats 3 and 1. And now let's take a look at how it beats 2 and 4. So let's call this cover 2. How do you adjust this to cover 2? Well, you would drop your nickel Sam to that safety spot. You would bump your backers over so that you are taking care of that slot defender in there. This guy would slide, and you'd probably get him back or over the top, or decide to bring him in cover 2 as that will linebacker. You get that safety over the top and press. And so here's how this route attacks cover 2. As you run outside release, must outside release him in cover 2, this converts to a go route. As you release across the middle, once again, you're getting vertical on this route. Maybe it influences this backer and keeps him from seeing that tight end sneak out the back. Then you run your tight end on his seam, and now it looks like you're running 4 vertical. The backside of this doesn't matter because this route is going to hold that safety. So again, vertical, vertical, vertical on the outside, and you got another safety sitting back here. Now this safety has to decide, do I play inside on the hash and handle this, or do I come off the hash and try to tween these 2 routes? If he hangs tight on the hash because of everything breaking in, you've got the whole shot ball out here. If he decides to tween these 2 routes, cross, wheel, go, if a safety decides to tween these 2 routes, you bend that to the middle of the field. And so the bend is the part that your receiver will have to adjust if he sees 2 high safeties. As a quarterback, if he beats that safety on the inside, you bang a real tight ball inside, a tight 2 with very little shape on it, and you drive that down the field at 18 to 22 yards like you would in 4 vertical, and you've got yourself a good play here. If you don't like any of that, let's say the corner runs and softens with this, now you've got back in the flat and shallow cross. The backer who's playing over the inside here, remember this guy's going to have to bump, has to decide whether to attack the back on the swing or be able to handle this route coming at him. So you've got a high-low on that backer in cover 2. So it works out great for you there. And if that corner gets beat in man and the safety stays on the hash, you could also throw the over-the-top go ball, but into cover 2, especially to the wide field. I'm not big on throwing balls out to the outside sideline on the go. So there's your answer for cover 2. Now let's take a look at cover 4. One last go here. And again, it's a stretch to get all of these. You've got better plays that you can run. But if you get caught in it, you get disguised, and they do it. Now you've got this cornerback playing off quarters, 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 and quarters. But let's remember our rules. If a route presses vertically at me as a cover 4 safety, I lock on man. If number 2 goes vertical as a cover 4 corner, I go man. So now you've got man on this front side. This route getting vertical could influence this safety from his cover 4 position to chase or what they call cut that route. It also keeps this safety home. If they bump it across and say, we've got motion coming out, this safety has to play that backside route coming to him. Okay, great. Tight end comes up the hash. Let's say they play it smart and this safety stays with that as well. You still have a comeback on the outside and the back on the swing to high-low the backer that's going to have to chase that. So you've got an answer in here for everything. So as you can see, Washington used it to beat man coverage, and it worked extremely well. But there is an answer in that play for every different coverage that you might face. Even if they disguise it and you get caught in something, you've got an answer. As long as your quarterback knows where to go with that and your receivers make the right adjustments based on what they're seeing. You could easily give that number 3 receiver who's running that seam wheel a rule that anytime that he has a safety over the top of him, he runs that bender to the inside, and that takes care of most of it, leaving that corner on an island outside in cover 4. If you love what I did here and you like learning how to beat coverage, make sure that you subscribe and ring that bell. Give me a thumbs up if you understand how this play works to beat all those different coverages, and leave me a comment down below. I would really love to hear from you, your thoughts on this play or any other play that you like, or something that you'd like to see diagrammed. I'm happy to do it here at EliteAthletesTV.com. We're working to help both players and coaches learn the game at the top level so that they can perform at their best. We want to give back. The sport has given me so much, and the rest of our coaches here at Elite Athletes TV has given them so much, that we want to give back to you and help you learn the game as well and as thoroughly as you can. I appreciate you watching. Remember, if you want one route that beats every coverage from cover 4, 3, 2, 1, that's it.